Howdy, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Dirt Info podcast. As always, I'm going to ask you very kindly to hit the like or subscribe down there. Any little bit helps, and we are always so appreciative. So please and thank you. But with that, that leads us to our next segment. And
It's called Stylin and Profile.
all right, I've been wanting to do that for like weeks and I finally figured it out. So I'm so excited. But anyway, Carter, I didn't even recognize the shirt you had on, but I'm so excited. I
Oh,
just noticed it. So hit
well,
us
I
with
got I
yours.
got bad news. I wasn't even gonna do this shirt. I was gonna do something else. Unless should I do a double
Oh,
this week?
what? Do a double. I love
Okay.
that shirt.
This is the Swindell Speed Lab shirt, and I don't know. I can't really show the back. Yeah, without ripping my cord out of my computer. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't see
you're
much.
all right.
But
Yeah, it's the
yeah,
Dirt Info colored one, the one
yeah,
from Knoxville Nationals. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
This was the year I went to Knoxville. 2022, I think. It was the last year Donnie Schatz won it. And it was as soon as I saw them post the wrap, I was like, oh yeah, that's like top of the list of shirts I'm gonna get. And the little like circles on here, they kind of look like Easter eggs, but they're bath
yeah.
bombs, which was like their main sponsor.
Yep.
And I got a free bath bomb with my shirt. I never used it. I think to be honest, probably ended up in the hotel garbage can. I was not taking a bath. Um, but uh,
Uh,
but yeah, so that I mean, you got
yeah.
something else with it, just not something
Yeah.
I particularly would use. Um,
Right. I actually, so funny story, real quick. I remember where I was when they announced that rap. I was sitting in the bleachers at Gondik Law when they posted it on Twitter, and I like reposted right away. I'm like, hey, nice colors. So, just funny story. Anyway,
I do
so you
believe.
have,
Oh, I think that car won like best appearing car too at Knoxville. I remember voting for it, so it better have won. But my other one, I was gonna show this last week and I just forgot all about it because it's my newest addition. But a Caden Carter sweatshirt. I don't really need
nice.
don't need a sweatshirt this time of year, but I don't have too many shirts. I figured I'd get sweatshirts. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about my name just being like on the front of my chest and on the back, but I've been wanting to get some of his merch for a while, and I finally pulled the trigger on it. And it has both cars on it, which is always a plus instead of just one. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it will make it more convenient for people to spot you, right? If you just have
Exa-
your name right on the front.
exactly.
So there's that. So in the cooler months, you might be easier to spot. But but anyway, interestingly enough, I think this shirt is what I would consider one of my older shirts, much like your Swindell Speed Lab one. And this one's from 2022 as well. But this is the Hunt the Front Northern, what they call it, Midwest Swing shirt when they went to Fairbury and then USA
Cedar
Nationals
Lake.
at Cedar Lake. Yep. And then they didn't, it's not on the shirt, but they did actually go up to Superior as well, to Gondik Law. But picked it up at Cedar Lake and then talked to Joshua in the merch cabin at Gondik. So kind of a cool shirt and it's made it longer than most around here. Heavy on equipment I am. So
Yeah, the one I got on too. The print is starting to fade. It's
yeah, that'll happen. Your favorites get wore out, man. We've
yeah.
said it before. They
You-
definitely get wore out. So, but anyway, one of us went racing, the other one just wished you had. But Carter, you're the one who went racing, and it was a fair bit of racing too. So tell us where you went and what you saw.
Yeah, Friday. I posted my schedule, I think, on the Dirt Info Facebook like Wednesday, and 2 days later, the schedule already changed. I was supposed to go to Outagamie Friday, but the weather did not look great, and I got done with work early enough. I was like, I could go to Red Cedar, and the weather looked better there, and I was like, ah, screw it. We'll just go to Red Cedar because Seymour Outagamie did not look great, and
Yeah.
Outagamie did end up raining out shortly after like the second mod heat, I think it was. So I made the right call. But yeah, and Red Cedar they had the Dirt Race Central Street Stock Tour, and I love my Wasota Street Stocks, and that was the first time I've ever seen that tour. And they had I think 28 street stocks, which was plenty for me. and like 100 something cars overall. And some their car count there like varies. Some nights it's like really good, and other nights it's like 60 cars. But I got a good night. There's a full field of late models too. But Jeff
Nice.
Nowak ended up winning the street stock feature, and it's kind of funny. He's the one guy there that also runs like by my tracks. He runs a stock car at like 141 and
Yeah.
Seymour and whatnot. So it was kind of funny that he ended up winning. Uh, I don't, I
Well, good
didn't,
luck.
yeah, I didn't,
I'm just
I
saying.
was not expecting that. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. There was one other thing that happened there. So they have a 10:30 curfew there. But I guess if they start the last race before 10:30, they can like finish the race. And it was like 10:15-ish or something, and they started the mod feature, and they had the late models after them still. And I was like, oh, we're gonna be cutting it real close.
Ooh,
The mod feature got done and it was like 10:25. The late models pulled on track, but there was a mod guy that had to switch to his late model, so that added a little bit of time. And they went green. They went green at 10:29, like
nice.
literally a minute beforehand. And I was happy. I was like, that's fine by me. I wanted to. If I didn't drive 3.5 hours to see four of the five features.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was they were cutting it real close there. Oh, and
See,
have you
those
ever
Wasota tracks can crack the whip when they need to, you know?
when they need to,
They
yeah.
can-
It's like, oh shoot, we have 5 minutes to finish the show. All right,
yeah.
well, that will get going. It didn't help
Yeah.
too because they were moving pretty fast, and then just the features just had a lot of cautions. That didn't really
Yeah.
help them much. And they started 2 minutes before 7 o'clock, which is their start time. So I always like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and have you ever seen a car go barrel rolling after the caution was already out, and a guy that wasn't even in the caution?
No, not usually. That usually doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
so during the super stock, the second super stock feature, because they had a makeup earlier in the
Okay.
night, but the one for that night, the caution came out for a car stopped in one and two, I believe, and then like I look over there, I see the car, and then all of a sudden, like going into one, another guy like got into the wall on the front stretch and just started barrel rolling, like at the end of the front stretch. I was like, oh, like
Oh,
I've never even super stocks don't really roll that much either. Like they're not
no.
like mods and stuff roll more often. I was like, oh, that's interesting. He was okay. And
Yeah.
they had him off the track. The car pulled off the track in like 2 minutes. So I was impressed by that. But yeah, I've never seen, I don't think I've
Huh.
seen a car go this barrel rolling who wasn't even involved in a caution, like a solo
Yeah.
spin caution too. It wasn't like a big pileup, rather. It was just a solo spin. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, this
Huh.
guy's barrel rolling down the front stretch.
Don't see that often. Do not. I wonder if something broke.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
not
probably never
sure.
find out, but just curious, right? Like it feels like it's like this is the worst time for this to happen, kind of thing. But
Um,
but yeah.
then after Red Cedar, I went to Plymouth. Um, a good night there. A little bit longer, but the features, two of the four features were really good. The sprint car feature was really good. There was like a late slider, and there was a huge slider by Alex Pokorski who won. He slid the leader and a lap car, and then ended up taking the
Oh,
lead by doing that. And then the late model feature, which was last, was uh, who won? Oh crap, I can't remember who won. Oh, Justin Schmidt won, and he was just railing the top side. And oh, I can't forgetting who he passed. He passed someone
yeah.
though, and it was
He's got a lot of racing this
Brad
weekend.
Miller. He passed Brad Miller, just like railing the top side, and then them two like they were like right next to each other, pretty much like right near each other the whole time. Like it wasn't like Schmidt got by and pulled away. Then Miller just kind of followed in his tracks, but couldn't get by after that. But it was they were right up against the wall, which you always like to see with a late model. So,
Yeah. Heck yeah.
and oh, Luxembourg, it's Sunday.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
like, and then
there's
Sunday you
I,
went too. So
I, it's too many races. I can't remember. I can't remember barely what happened, what I ate for dinner tonight. But yeah, Luxembourg, they had their a Prelude to the King for the stock car show coming up at 141. Um, and they had 102 cars, I think, or 104 cars in five or four classes. But they had 41 stock cars, I believe, was the total. And it was a really good race. Benji ended up winning from 16th. And then after Tech, he got DQ'd from what I've gathered, the carburetor booster height or carburetor booster, something like that. A part of the carburetor. I don't know. I don't know nothing about cars, but
I'm tech guys, so we have no
yeah.
clue.
What I do know is Mike Mullen, who ended up getting the win after Benji got DQ'd. He said that he doesn't believe Benji gained any performance advantage from what he was DQ'd for. So it's not like
Uh,
it's not like he was intentionally cheating to gain an advantage. And if he was, he picked the wrong thing to cheat up because it did clearly
yeah.
clearly didn't give him any advantage. So
Yeah, be smarter. I kid, of course, but like, come on, man. Anyway, yeah. So that is we talked about a race a couple weeks ago where it was kind of like the race was a banger, and then after the tech barn, you're like, oh,
yeah,
but yeah, that'll happen from time to time.
it'll
But
happen.
you
Yeah.
got it does not take away from the feature you saw was a good one.
The feature I saw was very good. Yeah. Yeah. Coming
Yeah.
from 16th, and him, Mullen, and Rod Stellenberger were like 3 wide for the lead at one point with probably I think less than 10 to go. So yeah, it was a very good race. Just unfortunate with the tech result, but that'll happen. I don't, you always someone always ends up getting DQ'd if you finish in the top four enough. It'll happen.
It'll
Um,
happen.
but yeah, that's all my races then. I got no more to remember.
Yeah. Did they have a Hornet or not
Oh yes,
Hornets?
they did
That's
have.
where I'm from. Did they
Yes,
have a
they
sport
they they
compact race
added.
by chance?
They actually added the sport compacts. I think like a week before the race, because a few of the drivers like tossed in some money, and it ended up being 400 to win for them, which for them is really good payday. And Justin Finland ended up winning that in someone else's car, but he still won. So
Hey, a dub's a dub. Yeah, we speaking of Justin, we've talked about him a couple times and the race that he puts on at 141. I think we're what, a couple weeks out from that one now?
yeah, not this Saturday, but next.
Okay, so you have a couple weeks out, but as we mentioned before, racer put together, racer funded, racer organized, racer promoted, racer everything. Uh, Sport compact race called the Bang Bang 50 at 141. Um, I got an update. They're up to 750 to win so far, and they've got 25 entries, so doing pretty solid. And if you want to get involved in any way, you can contact Justin or Kendall Finland or Finland Racing on Facebook. They're also on TikTok as well. And then I guess they added this year a fan favorite competition, so fans can vote for their favorite driver that's registered. So I think there's some prizes or something associated with that. So kind of cool. They're trying to figure something out. I don't know. Maybe we'll throw in $50 to the winner. What do you say? Sound like a plan?
We
Yeah,
can do
let's do
that.
it. Yeah,
I
let's
wish I
do
could
that.
be there. I gotta stream at Plymouth that day, but
Yeah,
it'll be on Flow
yeah,
too, so you can watch it there if you can't be there.
yeah. Right on. And so breaking news, they're up to 800 to win because we're gonna throw in $50. So you heard it here first. Right on. But yeah, well, with that, I didn't go racing. I actually, so true story, I contemplated going racing for a hot minute. Two of Sherry's friends were up near Ogilvie and they heard about the fireworks spectacular and they were debating if they were gonna go. And so I was a bit of a bystander on this plan, but I was like, if y'all go, I'm going. Like, you don't have to twist my arm to go see racing and fireworks. But ultimately, they decided to hang out at their campsite. But I was close. I was close for an impromptu, not my idea racing. That I was hoping for that. But because of that, I did watch a fair bit of racing. So I watched World of Outlaws both nights. Bobby Pierce won night one at Sharon. I think that one was 12,000 to win.
He dominated
And
that night. I saw he
he
won
did
by like
dominate.
5 seconds or something. It was up to 7 seconds, I know, just from the World of Outlaws
Yeah.
Twitter page. But
Yeah, he just kind of blew the doors off everybody. He had that new car. He had mentioned in the post race, like the last three times I think he's rolled out a new car, he's won and done pretty well. So he had instead of the new car blues, he had the new car groove going and kind of blew the doors off of him. And it looked like he was going to go 2 for 2 on Saturday. He led a fair bit, almost all of the feature, but Mike Marler ended up railing the cushion and catching up and making the pass. I think he was railing the cushion. I don't know.
yep,
Much
he
like he's
was.
yep, yeah. But so and the reason I remember that he was railing the cushion is because Pierce couldn't, because at some point he had busted the mud plug on his right rear,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, and so at some point in the race he ended up having to just come off the cushion because it was a lot of beating into banging,
Yeah,
and
I've
Marley
I've
was
I've learned so like when they get mud filled in their tire, I've learned what that feels like after a snowstorm one year and I had
yeah.
snow jammed into my tire. I remember I was going to a friend's house who raced and I called him and I was like, why is my car shaking? And he was like, oh, you probably got snow in your tire. I was like, so this is what it feels like when you get mud jammed in your tire when you're racing? He's like, that's exactly what it feels like. So yeah, I
Yeah, it's not
understand
fun.
why he wouldn't want to run the cushion when you're shaking in the car pretty much.
Yeah, so that left the top open and Marler went around. And then I remember so I remember before the race I was watching with Sherry and we sometimes will pick winners and I was like I can't shake that Mikey Marler in this hodgepodge mismatch backup car is going to get her done. Like it just has that vibe. And so this whole time I'm watching this, I'm convinced myself. I knew it was a backup car, right? But like red and gold, while can work, I don't know. My brain doesn't like it. So anyway, he gets all the way done with the race and he's in victory lane. And I look and I'm like, no, that's just the wrap. They've got the decking and the inside of all of the tin in the roof is wrapped red and the outside's all gold. They intended this. Your brain just played tricks on you. But yeah, he won and it was cool to watch. It's been a hot minute since we've seen him win a big race like that. So but anyway, Woo's off for a couple weeks. The next time they're back is PDC.
Yep.
So you're not going to be there, but you're going to wish you were.
Yeah, that's another one where I'm hoping it's a late night so I can catch the whole feature. I'll, that's
Yeah.
the one race, like where like if a race rains out, I'm like okay, staying home and watching streaming. That's like the only one where I'm like, I'm fine watching this on streaming and the race is raining out. I wouldn't skip a
Yep.
race if they were racing. I certainly wouldn't skip
You're
one to
going to
watch it. But if it
always be
rained out,
there.
I'd be happy watching that one on streaming.
Yep. Yep. I hear that. That is always a fun one to watch. I did once actually have a party over that Saturday and I had to have it on mute in the background, but it would be cool to have a party over for that. Anyway, Um, but so and then I kind of caught Lucas. I caught bits and pieces. So full disclosure, like I was just snoozing and my Flow subscription ran out. Um, and so I get my Flow subscriptions for free from Dirt Draft because I just turn in my points and get a free subscription for a year. And so I had to go through that whole rigmarole. So I didn't really have Flow, but it was free like through the heats. So I watched a fair bit of it, and then I caught the feature highlights afterwards. So that's how I did it this week. Anyway, so Thursday, Garrett Alberson won, and that was a pretty cool race.
Yep, that
He
was the one I caught. Was just that one.
Yeah. I will always appreciate a power move on the outside around two cars. And that's
Oh yeah.
exactly what he did. Yeah, he just drove right around. Like Overton was the leader and he was trying to squeeze Huddy and Alberson's like, no sweat. And just right around the top. So that was a very good race. And then they went to Lucas for 2 nights. Ricky Thornton Jr. won night 1. But the thing I thought was kind of neat is maybe you caught a little bit of this, but Clay Harris, I guess at 34 the night before, had blown a motor and I think discovered that there was like a cracked block or something on the other motor, and so he was down to 0 motors, and he was racing the next day at Lucas Oil Speedway, and so I don't know. I tried to read up on it, but I think a sponsor came through, maybe a new one, maybe an existing one. But anyway, he ended up with a Scott Bailey motor being put in the car and completed 30 minutes before hot lap started. And then he went out and took third. My man went to third from, what was it, 11th. So
Engine
he
works.
engine works. That's right. And then I did think I saw he went like 12th from he went to 12th from 25th the next night on Saturday as well too. So engine definitely works, but just kind of one of those interesting stories. Like that guy's kind of scraping by to stay on tour, you know. And when bad luck strikes, he was almost off tour, and it was
Yeah.
nice to see that everything came through. So that's kind of neat. But on Saturday, Brandon Shepard won the big 25,000 to win race. Is that the Diamond Nationals?
Yep.
Is that what that was? Yeah, so he won the Diamond Nationals. It's always neat to see Sheppy win. He's a guy. He's a big fan favorite in our house. So when he wins, Colton digs that, and so always cool to see him win. And then also I noticed Justin Wells almost had a podium finish. He was given Davin, or I think it was RTJ, given RTJ fits for third coming to the line, but local who's run pretty well there. I think during the show me he had a couple of top 10s too. So anyway, those are the interesting storylines sometimes. It's like, yeah, that guy won, but this
Yeah,
dude exceeded expectations by quite a bit and was given, given
that's
RTJ all he could handle for thirds is
sometimes
worth something.
that is the story. Like the Marshalltown flow race when Justin Duty was like just running the bottom out of nowhere and was just like Justin Jarrett and Ben Shelton were like, where did he come from? Like
Yeah. Dude, out of nowhere. And he was just every restart, he'd just get to the bottom and pass a bunch of cars. And
exactly.
then before it was over, he was in the top five. So yeah. So that's kind of that was an interesting way to consume racing. I'm back. I'm reinstated now. So moving. I've got a whole nother year. But that was an interesting weekend there. But um also, did you see the Dakota Mod Tour wrapped up?
I did. And
Yeah.
they had a really good car count pretty much every night, like 50 plus mods, and I don't remember the exact stock car count, but I know that was up there too.
It's pretty close to 50, if not 50 close. And that's pretty solid. But um did you catch who won it?
The title, Ethan Braxton, I saw won that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna do every race, brother. I will say that you had mentioned that Strickler was driving an IMCA mod, and it took him till the last race, but he did manage to win one race. So Strickler did pick up a win. But other than that, yeah, Broxma won. Isn't he? I think he's back to back 2-time in defending. Reigning
Uh,
defending.
Possibly.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I
He
saw it.
he won
Maybe
the
we're gonna roll
Clash
with
at
it.
141,
Yeah.
so he's having a good
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, either way. And then Angel Munoz won the stock car portion of that too. So, and speaking of stock cars, we mentioned a whole mess of stuff that was going on. I think the coolest thing that I picked up was the Tanner Pelster Memorial
Yep,
at
Boone
where was
County.
that? Boone County. Yeah. That was a good race, healthy car count, big money. Um, you actually put me on it. So you should tell me what happened in the race. But so yeah, Carter, who won and was it interesting?
Yeah, so Ricky Thornton Jr. won, and that was his first time at that track. And him and a local guy, Cameron Wilkinson, for the last, was it 5, 6 laps? I don't know, around there. They were
Yeah,
pretty
maybe
much just,
more even. Yeah.
yeah, they were just throwing sliders back and forth at each other. Like RTJ kept throwing one, and then Wilkinson would drive underneath. And then going into 3 and 4 on coming to the white, I think
Yep.
Thornton threw one more, and he finally got it to stick, if I remember right. And then I think Wilkinson tried one going into 1 and
Yeah, he
2,
threw one
and
back.
then
Yeah.
Thornton cut underneath, and then after that, Thornton held on. But yeah, they were sliders back and forth
Yeah.
during that deal, and they had 75 stock cars for that, and 80 hobby stocks also signed in.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and RTJ, I mean, $10,111 to win too. So
Yeah,
pretty solid purse too. So you can see why they were throwing down. And then yeah, you mentioned the hobby stocks. They were racing for $3,111, and Bradley Graham won that. So
I did not see the highlights of that one, unfortunately. And
I did
and,
not
and
either.
while we're on it, it's ongoing, but we mentioned the Joey Hergott Memorial at Beatrice, and they got 58 stock cars signed in right now, 231 total cars. So,
Nice.
and we had a
Solid,
surprise
solid.
appearance by Garrett Alberson in a stock car. It might be his
Yeah.
first ever time in one. His seat race did run as we're recording, did not go well. I think I believe he took last in his seat, but that just shows, I don't actually know what happened. He may have had an issue, but it said he ran every
Hey,
lap. But in my mind, that just shows that IMCA stock car drivers are really good.
yeah, I would agree with that. Jumping behind the seat of that and trying to compete with the guys who are willing to throw down for that big purse. That's yeah. He bit off the best of the best kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and it just shows how hard it is to drive a stock car
I think it
sometimes.
also shows how crazy it is that RTJ can, I mean, he's ran one before running late models, but he can just
Yeah,
hop back in one like it's like he's
yeah.
currently running them weekly and be that good in one.
I know he was just running a midget like a week and a half ago
Yeah,
too.
literally.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was at the VC 39. So, yeah. But also we had mentioned the Andy Daly Superstock Special at Brown County Speedway. And so they ended up racing for $3,012. That turned out to be a pretty banger of a race.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I caught sort of the watch back, but Jeremy Nelson and Kurt Myers pretty much battled the entirety of 25 laps, like, and it ended up coming down to a last lap. I always say lap last pass. I don't know why, but I do. It came down to a last lap pass, and Jeremy Nelson ended up winning. But
Jeremy or Trevor Nelson?
it's probably Trevor, and I wrote it down wrong,
Okay.
and I feel like an idiot. So thank you for correcting me there. So anyway, yeah, Trevor Nelson. I don't know why I wrote that down. I mean, I do, but I don't,
There's too
kind of
many
thing.
Nelsons in Minnesota.
Nah, it's a very common name, but my deepest apologies, Trevor. So it was Trevor Nelson and Kurt Myers battled for the whole race, and yeah, last lap pass. So. Anyway, and then the late models was a pretty good show too. I don't recall all of what went down, but Chad Becker ended up winning a pretty interesting race. And he won $2,000 for his
Was that
efforts too.
like a
So.
tri-state show or something for the late
No, I
models?
think it
Okay.
was just whatever they run.
Normal late
Yeah,
model.
they're from Wissota maybe, or
Yeah.
it could be tri-state, rules all the same, but their weekly show, right? Um, but yeah, but anyway, that's everything we wanted to kind of cover as far as results and things we watched and things we were following. Carter, that means we're going to talk about where we're going racing, and you're going racing, but you have bad news too. So
I have
I think
bad
you should hit
news.
us with, yeah, next week.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. I'll start
Yeah,
first. First,
yeah.
I'm going racing. We mentioned it last week, but 141 uh tomorrow as we're
Today.
recording. Yeah, and technically today, yeah. Tuesday,
Yep,
Wednesday. We're recording on
yep,
Monday.
yep.
Wednesday looks not great. But if they rains out, they're gonna run it Thursday. And if Thursday rains out, they're gonna run it Saturday. So hopefully Thursday does not rain out because I cannot make it Saturday. Um,
Saturday's gonna be a tough one.
but yeah, so they're doing the qualifying night Tuesday, and then the main feature Wednesday for 10 grand for the stock cars. And then on Friday I go to Luxy for their weekly show. And then Saturday I'm back at Plymouth for their weekly show. And then nothing Sunday. First time in a while it feels like that I'm not going anywhere
Yeah,
Sunday. So, and
yeah.
then the
And what
bad
about
news,
next
yes,
week?
yes, the bad news. For you, I guess, is I'll be going up north with some friends for Monday night through we're coming back Friday morning. Um, so yeah, I'll be gone for the podcast, unfortunately. The week after, I might be gone the week after too. We're not sure yet
Yeah,
because
there's a
I plan
chance.
on going to Wilmot the week after on Monday for the World of Outlaw late model show, and we're
Yeah,
leaving kind of early for that. So I don't know if we'll have time to record that day either. But yeah, so
yeah.
Josh is still workshopping a plan on what he's going to do next week.
Uh, yeah, I haven't figured out what I was gonna do. Some options include a solo show or no show. Although I don't think no show feels wrong given the amount of racing I'm about to do. Um, I might do something with Sherry. Might be interesting to have Sherry. She's gonna go racing with me at all this stuff, so that might be kind of a different approach. But we'll figure something out. I'm sure there'll be something. It may be an abbreviated something, but we'll be here. Or I might like just screenshot Carter's face over there. So he's just like I'm talking to someone. I don't know. We'll figure it
You could
out.
probably get some AI thing that would just put me in there.
Yeah, but it needs to be AI Carter. I need it to be your mannerisms.
Oh,
Anyway.
I'm sure that you could get something that'll do that.
We'll get demonetized on YouTube, all that YouTube money we're pulling down. Anyway, so well, I'm doing a whole boatload of racing. I'm not it's not nailed down exactly how much, but I can tell you aspirationally, I'm hoping to be at 3 shows this week. I'm hoping to start my weekend at Princeton on Friday with USMTS. So these are all USMTS shows. I actually think all 3 of these shows constitute the Mod Wars event this
Yep.
year. In years past, it's been like exclusively at Ogilvie, but I think they managed to get these 3 to kind of say, yeah, this will be Mod Wars. At least what I've seen. So this is the reconstituted Mod Wars. So starting Friday night at Princeton, and I'm super excited. Like I said, I haven't been there in a few years, and it's the only quarter mile like kind of reasonably close to me. So I really want to go see these big motor mods on this quarter mile track. I really do. I've only seen it one other time, and that was at Winneshiek, and Jake O'Neill came from a B main to win the thing on like a hammer down track, no less, too. Like it was a wet, muddy. It was a heavy track, and he came all the way from a B to win. So, cool things happen with USMTS on these little quarter miles. So I want to go see that. Um, and then Saturday I'm gonna go to Ogilvie, and that's gonna be an interesting one for me because I got roped into doing some stuff for Dirt Draft, so I'll be manning the command center, if you will, in a way, and also at the racetrack. So I've done it before at this event, plenty of time, actually twice, I think. So I know I can handle it, but it adds an extra layer to the whole proceedings, you know. Uh, that's where having Sherry comes in handy. She's my little buddy. She either write down names for me. Anyway, I'm getting in the weeds, but she comes in handy. So, um, so Saturday should be interesting and super fun. And then on Sunday, Granite City also has USMTS there, and that's the final night. And I really want to go support them getting this one in. They tried last year and it got rained out, and they're always trying to get bigger shows in at this track, and the weather just never does cooperate. Um, and to be honest, all of this is sort of subject to weather too. Looking at the forecast as far out as we are, there's a chance some or most of this gets wetted or weathered out, but um, there's also fluctuations from 92 today to 67 later in the week. So there's a lot that could happen. But
Yeah.
anyway,
It
yeah.
also it seems like the weather changes. It could be showing rain one day and nothing the next. So
Yeah. Yeah, but I did look in advance of this just to kind of get myself a little prepared, and I was like, all right, so at least it exists as of today. But anyway, I'm gonna be flat out wore out if I manage to do all three, but I'm shooting for it. And then also, like as a bonus, starting at Ogilvie and going to Granite City, the Wissota Challenge Series is linking up with them for the last two legs of this too. So that's just kind of like an added bonus. I get to see the Wissota Challenge Series. And they've got a 4-day swing. So they start on Thursday, and they'll be at ABC for $4,444 on Thursday. And then we kind of had mentioned this event at Gondik a time or two before, but so they've got the twin 25s at Gondik Law on Friday. So
that's like they invert them for the second 25,
yeah,
right? Yeah. The
yeah. I don't
full
know.
field? Yeah, I don't remember
I
what it
don't
is.
know. I know there's some level of invert.
There is an invert, yeah. Two car
Yep,
invert.
yep. Yeah, first and second swap. No, there's some level of an invert. And so those are like $2,611 each, both of those. So that's kind of cool. And then Ogilvie for $5,000, and then Sunday at Granite for $3,000 as well. So I'm excited to see them. I definitely know for a fact I'm at least getting Challenge Series. This Dwayne Mader, what is it? The Dwayne Mader Memorial?
Yep.
Yeah, at Cedar Lake. On Saturday stands to, well, I think they've got 62 cars registered
Yeah.
already. So I'm unsure how many I'll get to see, but I'll get some, and it'll probably be a pretty solid race both
Let's
times.
let's
So.
do a car count prediction for the challenge series at Ogilvie because we're so good at these.
At Ogilvie, we
Yeah.
suck at these.
I know.
We're always overly optimistic, and I don't know
I'll
that much is going to change here. But
my guess is 25 for the challenge
okay,
series.
I'm going to say they're going to have enough to make it worth running like a B main, and I'm going to go with 30. And that feels pushing it, but I'm going to say 30. I'll go with they get 30.
It's
So
possible.
over.
Some of those
Yeah.
Western Minnesota guys come over because Cedar Lake's
Yeah.
too far. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know the Cedar Lake thing. I mean, they've got 62, and I
Yeah.
didn't look at I didn't look at it too much, but um, I don't know. I mean, I do think it's kind of cool that they've picked up all the registration fee or the entry fees and the 2 pit passes for everyone for that. So I think it's cool. It's definitely a cool event. I'm not really complaining like, oh, it's ruining my racing. I think it's cool that they'll both be there, and I'll get late models, and it'll probably be a solid race. So all the same. But yeah, so those two shows are going on as well. So I'm super excited. I get to do for me. It's fairly local. Sherry put out the beacon call to all our friends because this is all within an hour of us or less for some of this stuff. So I think my buddy Joel might catch up with me for a race or two, and Some of Sherry's friends might as well. So like that's kind of cool. This could be a fun little race weekend. So you can see why I don't want to just not have an episode. Um, but yeah. Um, and then anyway, speaking of USMTS, so I guess I'll talk about them a tiny bit because we mentioned I'm going to go catch my race. I'm going to hammer the table again. Carter, how many guys are challenging for the championship? How many?
Is it 3? Is it 4?
It's
4 of them?
four. It's four. I wrote it down, but anyway,
Sanders, Strickler, Jim Chisholm. Who's the fourth one?
Tanner Mullins.
That's who it is.
Yep. Yep. And so Sanders the leader, Chisholm is in second, Tanner Mullins third, Strickler fourth. And then there's a pretty big gap back to fifth. So we're gonna come out of the winner's gonna come out of these four. They've run 17, they got 21 left. So it could still stands to be a bit of a grinder. That is if we can start clicking off some races without weather and stuff and stop this sort of we've been in this herky jerky stretch where they've had some extended breaks. So I think once we get back to racing, it could be real interesting down the stretch.
You want to
And
you want to
then
mention? Oh, so you want to mention too? The one USMTS show you won't be at is at Fairmont
yeah,
on Thursday, right?
yep. So
So
they're Fairmont on Thursday. That is not part of the Mod
yeah,
Wars.
that's a
Yeah.
is that a rescheduled show? That Thursday
Uh,
one?
I don't think so. I think it's
I
already
couldn't
been there,
remember.
but you could be right. But I don't think so. I think it is there. Which, if it's a reschedule one, that's a bit of a bummer because there's the Dodge County Fair race at Dodge County Speedway, and Case in Minnesota is also running on that Thursday. And I don't think they hardly run that track except for the fair race. And they've got $3,000 and 3,025 to win for USRA modifieds on
Oh
that
yeah,
Thursday
I
too.
could see that
Yeah.
being a scheduling conflict there. I don't know the gap
Yeah.
between the two of them though either. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're too far apart, but anyway, again, hopefully they both get good car counts and it is just what it is, you know what I mean, man? Like guys are gonna it's good that there's opportunities and options to race for good money. And I think that's as much as we really want to say about that. But anyway, so other than all of the places we're gonna go racing, there is actually a pretty I think it's a cool event, probably because I've been to it. It's probably not anyway. I'm burying the lead. Silver Dollar Nationals is this weekend with Lucas Oil Late Model Series. I've been to this one. I was there at the inaugural one at Huset's when they very first they did the passing of the torch stuff. But I think I-80 was way cooler. And
yeah,
that's no hate on Huset's, but I-80 would have been way cooler. But anyway, so they have 2,000. They have two 10,000 to win shows Thursday, Friday, and then they're racing for 75,000 up top. So, it's big money, and the Outlaws are off.
oh
So
yeah,
that could help. I do see that. I did see that Bobby's at least going to be at. Oh,
Shelby County.
geez. Yeah. So
Oh yeah,
yesterday he was at Shelby County. Yeah.
if he's gonna be
Yeah.
there, I assume he's gonna go to Huset's, especially
Yeah. He'll be at
for what you
Houston's
said, 50, 75. What is it Saturday? I forgot.
75.
Yeah,
75. Yeah.
I'd imagine
Yeah.
he'll be out there.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about it a little bit earlier today, and this group of outlaw guys doesn't travel as much as you like it doesn't feel like they travel as much as the Lucas crowd. Like if Lucas is off and there's a big money race, feels like we'll get like a handful of Lucas guys at a Woo show. But this year flipping, it's like Bobby you'll be there, and then who else do you feel comfortable being like, he'll probably show up.
Yeah,
Like maybe Hoffman.
a lot of the outlaw guys like run like more local. Like a ton of them were on the Hell Tour. Like
Yeah.
how think about how many like Gustin popped in, Tim,
Yeah.
Hoffman won the last one,
Sorensen. Yeah,
Overton.
Hoffman.
So like they
Yeah.
all kind of pop in there, but yeah, I guess they don't really go to like Outlaws or Lucas shows that much. Although
Yeah.
I feel like
No.
Lucas sometimes is in a goofy spot like area too. Like they're in like
Yeah.
Pennsylvania or something. And a lot of your
Yeah.
guys are from like Illinois, Midwest area.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure Lucas is off on PDC weekend, so
Yep,
next weekend. So
they're
it
off
may
PDC and uh USA Nationals. They're off for both of
yeah,
those. So
yeah. So I don't know. We were mentioning car counts before we started recording, and we're I think rightfully mentioning that they've been down since they've been there, but I don't know. Bobby's going at least. Maybe Hoffman or something else shows up, but maybe there'll be a few more. Drake Troutman said he wants to race something like some crazy amount of like
Oh
100 plus
yeah,
races. So
Troutman's one that shows up
yeah,
all over the place.
yeah.
I
So
wouldn't.
he
I
might
could
be
see
there.
Gustin maybe showing up. Uh, he kind of travels a
Yeah,
little bit, but I don't know Hoffman.
yeah,
I feel like Hoffman doesn't really. He'll go to some, but I don't know. I can't imagine him going out to North Dakota, honestly,
yeah.
or South
I mean,
Dakota.
yeah. Well, I guess he did go over to Ohio, so he's probably headed home, right? Because he won that last one.
Well, they
So
were in Ohio though too, so that helps.
you make point. Make a point. I forgot that. For some reason, I thought they were over this way, but they weren't. They were at Sharon. That's right. So anyway, uh, we'll see how many show up. But that was an interesting thought I had earlier today. I'm like, dang, this group of guys just doesn't. Bobby and Troutman really is the only two that you're like, they'll make. But anyway, so we'll see. Hopefully, there's a good crowd. Like I said, I went during the inaugural one, and it was kind of interesting because that was when one of the days got rained out. And so like I drove out there and I got there before the feature or the heat races or something or whatever they were doing. They were running like this whole day of racing.
Yeah.
I can't remember it. But anyway, I ended up getting a wristband for when I got there and I go in and I watch the whole show and then they clear everybody out. And while we're cleared out, the rain just absolutely falls out. Just completely, the sky falls out. It just drenches the track, everything. We had left a blanket there and it just got completely soaked. Actually, that's the one and only time I've had a blanket down and someone's taken my seat. We had a blanket down and like the rain kind of destroyed it, but we showed up and some dude had just ripped it off and he was like, "Oh, I'm
Oh,
sitting here."
I've had a guy just sit on my blanket before.
Oh,
So
that's wild.
yeah, and then I walk up to him and he gives me the blanket like, no, give me my seat. God.
Yeah. No, it's not the blanket I want. But
What?
anyway. But anyway. So, but worked out better for us because with the additional time, I was actually able to kind of get a spot off the track because we were getting hammered where we were. We were getting absolutely blasted. So, his loss, if you ask me, the spots I found were way better. But anyway, but so I never did swap out my wristband because I told them when I got there, I'm like, I really only have a Saturday ticket, but I guess the list I'm on, and I got it from Dirt Draft, and Dirt Draft guy Clint had talked to them and they told me I could come in. So like this is all what I was supposed to do. And the people at the door were just kind of like they looked at each other. And I'm like, I promise you I'm supposed to be here. And they're like, okay, come on in. It's like, and you know me, I get up and walk a lot. And so I had that interaction a few times and they just finally recognized me and it was fine. But anyway, yeah. So I kind of dig that race. That when I was there, it was a good race. That was Shepard versus Pierce, and so we could get that again. Sheppy won, and Pierce is most likely going to be there. So anyway, and then so the undercard, if you will, of this one's kind of interesting. So Lucas is there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but there's a tri-state late model race on Wednesday too. So
Stock cars are there
they're
too, Wednesday, by
stock
the way.
cars are there on Wednesday as well. Yeah. But so on Wednesday we've got the tri-state late models and they're running for 6,000 to win. So if any of those guys want to bolt a restrictor plate on their motor and show up a day early, I guess they could. And then Thursday and Friday they've got SLMR West there, and I think that's a 2-day show leading up to a 6,053 to win show. So I think they're doing like heats and all that kind of stuff on day one, and then day two they like B's and the A main, as I think how it
What do they do
works.
Saturday?
Or they're not Saturday. They have like super stocks in support or something.
Oh,
They have no late
those
models in
late though they
support.
have
Yep.
those late model street stock things they run a weekly there probably
Yep.
then. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 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 So that's what they're doing Saturday. And then just I guess speaking of SLMR, did you see that Dylan Thornton picked up like
Wasn't it like 10 grand or something?
it was like 10 grand plus more. I think it was $10,076 to win, and then I think he had like another $2,660 in lap money.
Oh, yeah, I saw he
Yeah,
won. I didn't realize he
yeah,
had lap money added onto it.
yeah. Almost 13 grand he ended up winning. So, and that was the Raylan Zeitner Memorial at Shelby County, where Lucas was yesterday, I guess. But anyway, so that is a cool event. And I would definitely go back. I've always teetered on going back and forth to that one.
How far is it
Maybe I will.
from you?
It's like I'm trying to remember. I think it's 5.
Oh,
I
that ain't
really would
terrible.
have to Google it. It's either 4 or 5. I will say this: I went there and back in a day, and it was too much. I mean, I
Were
survived
you
it, but I would not advise doing it again.
were you with someone?
It was with Sherry, of
Oh,
course. I have a built-in racing buddy, brother. By the time we were about an hour out, and I was struggling. It was
you would hate
yeah.
traveling around with me and Ryan
Actually, I wouldn't because you'd be
because I would
driving.
just be doing all the driving. Yeah.
So counterpoint. No, it sounds delightful. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds fantastic, Carter. But anyway, and then I should mention now that the Hell Tour is over, we do get the Mars late models and mods back, and so they've got a 3-day swing: Farmer City, I-55, and Quincy Raceways. 5,000 each night for late models, 2 grand for modifieds. Did you see that? Kind of relevant to Mars. Did you see that McKay Wenger? I think is in. He's no longer with the 99 team, and I think he's
Yeah,
driving
he
his own
was in
stuff
his own
now.
car because he won at
Yeah.
Fairbury this past Saturday. I think
Yep,
it
in
was
his
like
own car.
5,000 to win or something show because it was
Yep,
on Flow and their bigger shows are on Flow. So, oh, my dog's
yep.
barking. Sorry if you
Dog's
can hear the
barking.
dog barking.
Well, we can a little bit, but it's all right. Um. So yeah. So a bit of interesting news, semi-related to that.
Oh,
But anyway, yeah,
can I mention back to the Hell Tour for a second? Did you see that Zach Mitchell showed up for the last week and won 3 of them?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
kind of
I did
crazy.
see that.
I
Yeah.
mean, like he's obviously good down south, but he never really comes up. Maybe like to Eldora or something. But
Mhm.
yeah, he shows up to the last week of the Hell Tour and won 3. I think he took second at one of them. I don't know who won the
He won
week.
the
Did they say did he win the
he won
weekend
the week.
point or the week
Yeah, he
points?
won
Okay,
the week points too. Yeah, he won
yeah,
like pretty much everything that you could win.
yeah. I was
Um,
very impressed by him. That was pretty
yeah.
cool to see.
It reminded me of, I mean, you'd have to go back multiple episodes, but you had mentioned early on when the Hell Tour started that there was just like an extra Southern influence this year
Oh
compared to
yeah,
years
there's a
past.
ton of Florida guys
And
down there and stuff.
yeah, and it showed through the whole time. Trey Mills, I feel like towards the back half of that was always running up
Trey
towards the
Mills
front.
won one. Mark Whitener
Yeah,
won one this past week. That was
Mark
his first
Whitener won
win.
one. Yeah. Yeah, I think Mills had a handful of seconds along the way
Yep.
too. Mitchell won one. I think Tyler Millwood won one at
Yep,
one point. He's
yeah,
definitely
a
from
lot of
down
Southern
south.
guys.
Yeah, so it's just now that it's all said and done, I just wanted to give you props. Like you picked up on it and they delivered too. So
They also
that was
had,
an
I
interesting
saw they
feeling.
had 10 guys follow the whole thing, which I think is the most in quite some time. They had 10 guys follow that
Okay.
whole deal. So,
I honestly, do they do a whole long
yep,
championship? Like,
yep.
and do you know who won?
Fager won that.
Fager did win.
Yep.
Okay.
I
I
assume
mean,
Tyler Erb was second, like with 2 races left. So I assuming he ended up
yeah,
second probably.
I assume he would too as well. Yeah, but okay, right on. So, well, I think that's everything we had planned to talk about, which means only one thing, Carter. It's time for.
The one for the road. And my one for the road is actually I'll recap last week's first. Cedar Lake had their first first week of the month of money, which this
Yep.
week it was the mods and the Midwest mods. And Rodney Sanders showed up and won the mods. 20
Yeah.
it was supposed to be 2,500, it ended up being is it 4,600? Was that
I
what it
think
was? 45?
46 was the final number.
Yeah,
46,
so
I think.
yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty good paid. And then he won Friday at Mississippi Thunder too, if I remember right, which was some
Yeah.
extra like 1,200 or something like that. It was
Two
like a
grand.
2 grand. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, that's
a
2 grand.
very,
Yeah,
very
that
good
was.
weekend for him then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
And
then
then
in,
the
oh, go ahead.
go ahead. I was
Oh,
gonna say
so
the Midwest Moz also got the
yep,
bump.
that's
Did you
that's
catch
what I
that?
was. Yeah, I was just gonna
Okay.
say. Yeah, I did see that. And Shadow Kitchener won that. And he runs there. I think he's like pretty much a local there. So I've heard of him. He runs Legends too at like a micro track on Wednesdays. So. I thought that
Okay.
was kind of cool. But yeah, he won that. So, and they had 25 mods and 38 Midwest mods. I thought they would have got a few more mods, but I mean, you still got some big names there, so I don't think anyone was
Yeah.
really complaining.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of neat to watch. I did actually watch it because we had talked about it. Um, almost AJ Demo almost would, if there wasn't a late caution, he might have been able to run him down. He was railing the top, and Rodney was running the middle, and then a late caution. He couldn't get her spun back up right. But
Did
anyway,
he end up in second, Timo?
yes, I believe so. Yeah.
He had like a weekend of seconds then, because at Red Cedar he took second in the late model behind Jesse Glenn's, and he was catching
Okay.
Glenn's and then couldn't get past lap traffic.
Okay.
I think he
Yeah.
took second in the late model too at Cedar Lake, if I saw on Facebook, right? So 3 seconds, which
Yeah.
consistency.
Yeah, all in all, not a terrible weekend,
No.
honestly. Like if someone's like, you're not gonna win all weekend, but you're gonna finish second 3 times, you're like, that it could be worse. But anyway, yeah. So
And
what's your new one? That's your
my
recap.
new one is so Grays Harbor Raceway in Washington, Elma, Washington. They
Elmo,
have
Washington.
the 26 was it 26th annual modified nationals Friday and Saturday, and it's 7,500 to win for the IMCA mods. And last year Colin Weinbarger won that. And Friday night it's two sets of heats and then a race of champions, which that's $500 to win too. And then Saturday it's the B mains and whatnot and the features. So yeah, I'll not often that there's like a ton of big shows out there. I feel like for mods like that much. I know Skagit has one. That's the only other one I think I know of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try to keep my eye on that and I'm curious what the car count will be because obviously they're not in the Midwest where guys are coming from all over.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so Colin Weinbarger, he's a guy that been kind of making a name for himself in the late model. Was it at Vado where he was doing really good? It was
I think he
somewhere
went
he showed
Vado a
up
few
at.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, he showed.
Yeah.
I think he was in the Midwest at one point too, early,
Hmm.
during like May or something. So yeah, I'm curious if he'll be back there. I assume he will be. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who wins that.
Heck yeah. Yeah. And I mean, just reiterating your point, 7,500 to win IMCA mods out on West Coast. That's pretty, that is
Yeah,
absolutely noteworthy. I think, yeah, Skagit's the other one. Anyway, I'm just repeating what you said, so I should shut the hell up. Anyways, so, so mine, we had mentioned this show a while back, and then weather kind of played havoc, and so they ended up rescheduling it, which turns out might be for the better because there's some new and interesting news that I wanted to mention. But anyway, uh, the Heartland Modified Tour and the American Modified Racer Series are doing a joint show, the Joe Duval Funkadelic Dirt Track and Honky Tonk Extravaganza, which I love the name and it only kind of gets cooler from here. But anyway, so Friday they're at Arrowhead Speedway for, I believe it's $2,000. And then Saturday they're at Solana High Banks in Oklahoma for the same $2,000. But one thing I noticed is they have a pretty cool trophy. So they've got these gold belt buckles. So I think a cool trophy is always worth a mention sometimes in a belt buckle. I would love to win a belt buckle. But anyway, so they got one for Friday, they got one for Saturday. Turns out, as a fan, you have a chance to win a belt buckle too. So I noticed on the picture they had three. The third one is for fan of the weekend. So I'm digging this. So they're doing like a fan of the weekend contest, and they get the gold buckle, the pellet grill or a pellet grill, and $500 cash. And so this is all the information I got. It says the wildest fans of the weekend will be entered. You want to win? Get loud, get crazy, bring signs, dance, be loud and proud. We will write you a permission slip. So I think they're just going to be paying attention to who's whooping it up this weekend. And someone's going to walk away with a belt buckle, a pellet grill, and $500. And I think that's super cool. I do. I really do. It's like we always are talking about fan engagement. Well, here you go, man. Come on and have some fun. We were talking before the show, so you would be like obviously in the running for this if you were there. Unfortunately, you're not going to be there, but you would definitely be like a strong candidate, right?
yeah, I'd be probably bottom of the list for candidates and that. I am not one to get loud and cheer at racetracks or football games or anything really. So
Oh man. Yeah, you were telling me that before, and I couldn't believe it. I'm the opposite. Probably as a shock to nobody here, but I I am the opposite. I will cheer for the cool pass. I will, cheer for the cool finish. I'm the dude on the sidelines at like the football game, like, come on, D-line, set the tone. Like I'm the set the tone guy. But so I still don't know that I would be in the running for this. I feel like you maybe got to get the liquid courage going and like maybe literally show your ass pumped
Yeah,
to eventually win
I think someone that's
it.
had a few drinks is going to be winning this one if I had to guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but I still dig it. I still love that they're trying to do something to get people to go to these shows, encourage them to be fans. I don't know. Like we said, I say I don't know, and then I'm gonna spit an opinion. But anyway, the I mentioned last week like genuine emotion is cool, and I think this fits right in with it, right? Like if you are someone who maybe a little bit more natural and like to show out and attention seeker, hey, they're inviting you to do it. Like go have fun. So I don't know. I like
Yeah,
it. I like it. That's all I can say.
yeah. The most emotion you get out of me for stuff is like sometimes during a Viking game, I'll clap like in when I'm watching it at home. I think the most noise I made was the Minneapolis Miracle in 2017. Uh,
Okay. And what? And did you
I
yelp or
I
what did you
did no,
get?
I some noise came out of me when that happened. I was pretty hyped
Okay.
up for that. But yeah, at a
Like a
racetrack,
yippee?
I
Was it a
really
yippee?
no, I was probably just like yeah, or I don't know. I have no idea. That was a long time ago. I was pretty excited though. I remember that. But yeah, the most you'll get out of me is like watching
Oh.
the Vikings by myself and no one else can hear it. But at a racetrack and stuff, I'll clap. That's you'll get that out of me in public.
Like you could be like, yeah, and no one would even know. It's loud. Everyone's facing the other direction.
No, that's just not how I am. Even at like when I went to a Viking game, like I didn't really do much cheering. Although that was not much cheering at the game I went to.
So
That
they
was
they
Mike Zimmer era, end of Mike Zimmer era when it was rough times
Oh,
back then.
that is, yeah. But so they spent a whole game putting signs on the big boards, being like loud and cheer and let's go. And you're just like golf clapping
Like I
the
was
whole
at the
time.
highest row possible. My noise probably wasn't going to have much effect up
It was
there.
going to help the most. It was going to echo the most. It had the furthest
I
time
did
to
the skull
travel
chant.
and echo.
I participated in the skull chant, so there's
Okay.
that.
Did you just clap or did you
No, yeah,
also say
I said
skull?
skull. I said
Okay.
skull.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to have more skull chants at racetracks to get you to to loosen up. But anyway, I think that's everything, bud. I think that's all we got and more. So with that, if they're still here, Carter,
Like, comment, share, follow, um, all the other fun stuff that goes along
all the
with
other
it.
fun stuff. One of these times it'll work. But anyway, much appreciated as always, and we'll catch you. Well,
I say, I will not catch you.
I will catch you next week. Um, and who will be with me is a mystery even to me. So we'll find out together next
Yeah,
week.
hopefully it's not me because it will not be a family friendly show, I don't think, if it's me that's there next week. All right, see ya. Goodbye.